Well, day 25, I think it's day 25, not really sure. It's the last day of July and it's almost the last day of harvest for us this year. We've got still 50 hectares of spring wheat to do, which we'll probably do next week. And then we've got, after this 7 hectare field called Longacre, which is a really good field, 9.5 tonnes of wheat off this last year. Doing about 3 tonnes a hectare of spring barley this year, so not great, but that's where we find ourselves with the, I think probably the very high temperatures rather than the lack of rain, but we need to do a bit of digging into that later on. Had a bit of an upgrade to the combine today. Talis Amos Group, I've got a magician, the AMS specialist, Trevor, who has set up auto turn on the combine for us. This is basically the white line that I'm going to follow. There's a little blue U-turn up there, so when we get to the end of this row, without touching the steering wheel, I promise, we will lift up the header and it starts to turn on its own. There we go, look. The steering wheel isn't doing anything. Whee! Round we go. Here it is. So this is on the coverage map. Thanks, Matt. Oh, I should probably put the header down. And there it is, look, it hasn't missed anything. Lining itself up, and off we go down the bottom of the field, and that's the run that it's following. And yeah, when we get to the bottom, there are various options. If I click this button here, we can skip the run, or we can skip another run, or we can skip another run, or we can do that one, which is U-turn, so we come back on ourselves, or spiral out, spiral in. We do a U-turn, do that, and then in theory, I could just do it this way. We should now come back up where we've just come from. So yeah, it's all quite interesting, quite cool technology, and we will keep plugging away. It's Friday. Will has just taken a load back to the grain store, and he's going to come and grab the truck, head off for some fish and chips, and bit of a tradition. So this will be the last Fish and Chip Friday of Harvest 2026, and yeah, be wrapping it all up very soon. So from a very dusty overbreed, playing around with new technology, tune in tomorrow to see how we're getting on.